I'll call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Ms. Dolan?
Here.
Ms. Belisca?
Present.
Mrs. McKnight?
Here.
Mayor Morgan?
Here.
Mrs. Joffrey?
Present.
Mr. Kogan?
Here.
Mr. Kaminsky?
I'm here.
Let's salute the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This meeting, Borough Council, Borough of New Providence, County Union, State of New Jersey, adequate notice has been given in accordance with PL 1975, Chapter 231, that an annual notice or revision was made in conformance with Section 13 of the Act. Can I have a motion for, in fact, please read the title.
Resolution 2025-295 is a resolution appointing Michael Carlino to Sergeant in the Police Department of the Borough of New Providence.
Have a motion.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Dolan?
Here.
Ms. Belisca?
Aye.
Mrs. McKnight?
Yes.
Mrs. Joffrey?
Yes.
Mr. Kogan?
Yes.
Mr. Kaminsky?
Aye.
Where's the store? That's exactly right.
I love it.
Do they need to make a baby?
I
I volunteer.
knew it.
It's a new uniform.
We all volunteer.
We all volunteer
We all
Yeah.
volunteer.
to hold the babies.
Good, like your babysitter.
Good afternoon. I'm Michael Carlino.
I, Michael Carlino,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly
that
swear
I will support
that I will support
the Constitution
the
of the
Constitution
United States
of the United
and
States
the Constitution
and the
of the
Constitution
State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and this state,
and this state,
under the authority
under the authority
of the people,
of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
all the duties
of police sergeant
of police sergeant
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability. Thank you. Congrats. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Tell your wife, I can promise you, every one of us up here wishing we could still, our kids were still asking us to be home.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's happened before. But
Trust me.
again,
it's a blessing.
And it is.
Enjoy it.
I, Eduardo Aguilar, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and in this state, under the authority of the people, that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of police officer according to the best of my ability. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Congrats.
Just sign.
Uh-oh.
You gotta sign.
Official.
That's it.
Thank you.
Those guys.
Okay, at this time, we have a presentation by the Diversity Committee with the High School Students Unity Day recap. Come on up.
Good evening, and thank you so much for having us. I'm Audrey,
I'm Lillian.
I'm Anjali.
And I'm Fatima.
and we're all students from New Providence High School and UCVTS Magnet Schools, and we're the youth volunteers that help lead the Unity Day, our town's annual celebration of diversity and community. We're very excited to be here tonight to share what we're planning for Unity Day 2026. We also want to take a moment to appreciate our amazing council, New Providence High School students and teachers, and community organizations that make this event possible. To us, unity is about breaking down the walls that separate us. At school, it's very easy for all of us to live in our own little bubbles, sticking to people who look like us and think like us. But true unity means stepping outside of those bubbles, seeing each other for who we really are, and connecting beyond these surface differences. We're involved in unity because I've seen firsthand how small acts such as listening and understanding can create a ripple effect in our community. And we all have a part to play in tearing down the invisible barriers that keep us apart. That's why we're involved in Unity Day, because we want to help create a district community where no one's left out and where our differences become our strength rather than a barrier.
Next slide.
Oh, okay. So Unity Day has evolved throughout the years. We began in. Oh, sorry.
You're good.
Is this good?
That's perfect.
Okay. So Unity Day has evolved throughout the years. We began in 2019, where with this NJ Sharing Network, and hosted by the Diversity Committee, we performed an event. By 2021, Unity Day was taken over by students from the New Providence High School and the UCVTS Magnet Schools. At that point, our progress has grown exponentially. While in 2019, we had an estimated attendance of 75 people, just last year in 2025, we had over 300 people. More organizations of New Providence and surrounding towns have also began participating in and opening up more opportunities not only for the organizations themselves, but also for the participants. As Unity Day steadily evolved, so has the togetherness of the entire community.
The purpose of the event is to unite our community. We want to introduce people of all ages to different backgrounds by having those people speak about their own experiences firsthand. We also want to create a space of community and belonging with booths, food, arts, and music. Some details from our last year's event. It was held on New Providence High School gym on a Saturday, specifically June 7th. It lasted around 2 hours from 4 to 6 p.m., and we had over 300 people attend. Some event highlights of last year, we had around 20 different booths, including some New Providence High School clubs, the Japanese Club, the Spanish Honor Society, the Diversity Club, and the French Club. Of course, we know music is the universal language, and so we also had a concert with Keys to Success. There was also food at many of the booths, passport booth trackers to motivate children, and at the end, we had prizes. Last year, we partnered with Key Success, the New Providence Diversity Committee, the United Methodist Church, and the New Providence Unity Project. And as you can see, those are some pictures from last year's event. There are a couple pictures of our setup in the New Providence High School gym. There are some pictures of booths that were held specifically by the clubs in New Providence High School. There's the Japanese Club and the Spanish Honor Society on there. And in the middle, we have Sunil and our high school principal, Mr. Henry.
Looking to the future of Unity Fair and our Unity Fair 2026 event, we'd like to establish this as an annual New Providence community event to celebrate the diversity in our town. Last year, several New Providence high school clubs participated in the event, and this year we're looking forward to even more teacher and student involvement. To do this, we need the sponsorship of the New Providence Diversity Committee. Being sponsored by the committee and having the support of the New Providence High School will allow us to engage the community in our event through media announcements and school announcements. We appreciate the council's continued support this year, and we're so excited to work with you to make this Unity Fair even better. Thank you.
Thank you. I have to tell you, I am so impressed by you ladies organizing this. It has really grown into an event. Sunil, listen, we started this, actually the first one was actually in 2015, I think. And it's just a small group and it's just expanded. China, you do an amazing job chairing the committee now. And it's just, it's absolutely incredible. You know, New Providence demographics have changed incredibly over the years that I was born and raised here. And, you know, what the transformation that has taken place is unbelievable. And we all learn from each other. That's what it's all about. And I'll say a small story. I'm a member of the Packet Club. Packet Club was started by a group of Italian immigrants that worked in the greenhouses. Most of them came from, I think, Benevento, Italy. But back then, nobody really wanted, they were discriminated upon. They weren't allowed to join the fire department. They weren't allowed to do this, that, and the other thing. And they were Catholic. That was another thing. So, but over the years, in their charter, they were so wise that they never said you had to be Italian to belong to that club, because they knew and they wanted that everybody intermarry, intermix, and be, you know, just a reflection of the community. So that's a little history from back then and how far we've come. And to see students like you take everything to the next level is very heartwarming for me. I mean, we're all Americans, and we better start acting like it and show each other respect and civility. And I think, I don't know how we've gotten to this place now in this country, but I certainly hope we get back to the civility and the respect that we all deserve. So I congratulate you and what you're doing here, and know, you know, we're put on earth, and sometimes you think, well, why am I here? You're here to make a difference. And I will say, you're making a difference. Thank you. Any other comments?
Yeah. Yes. So I can't really add much to what Mayor Al said, except that it's been my pleasure to work with all of you this year as the primary liaison for the Diversity Committee. And you are just so totally on top of what you're doing. You collaborate really well. You have great ideas, and I look forward to many exciting things in the 2026 Unity Day. Thank you so much for all your effort.
A question for you guys. You guys are all juniors? Sophomores. So you guys did this as freshmen. You're going to do it next year, I'm assuming. You got to bring some of your younger friends up to pass the torch, because you guys done a phenomenal job. So I thank you.
And by the way, you do have our full support. So don't worry about that.
And next year's diversity committee, right? We have Kathleen had brought in, some more group of people who didn't sign up for our committee, unfortunately, this year. So next year's committee will be larger. And with a larger committee comes a lot more help and a lot more opportunity and ideas. So looking forward to even better.
Yeah, and I think this is a huge success story in the fact that a council advisory committee exists to advise council and to try things out, and then, have a different group take it and run it, right? So that's what we've done with this event over the years, having been a liaison. It's amazing that the kids, no offense, you guys are kids, we're a little jealous of that. The kids are now taking it and running it, and the adults are just like, okay, sounds good, sounds good, sounds good. So again, kudos to you. It's such a success story for our council advisory committees, such a success story for you, and I can't wait to see what you guys bring next year. And we're all here to support you and help you.
I can't let it go without giving my 2 cents as well. I just want to thank you as well. Like Councilwoman Bliska said, the point of the advisory committees is to advise council. And one thing we've always wanted on council and always supported on council is understanding, educating, celebrating, and appreciating each other. And I think this event over the last couple of years, which you guys have taken to the total next level, exemplifies that. And I'm very proud of everything that you guys have done, and I can't wait to see what you're doing next year.
And as an attendee of the event,
yeah.
I know you had pictures, but the
had a
event
great
itself,
time.
it was great. You had, like you said, everything from booths, some education, music, the entertainment was just phenomenal. So it was just entertaining and it was fun, and kudos to you. Thank you.
It was
And the
good
food
fun.
was good too.
We had really good fun.
Food too.
And thank you, Chanda and Sunil.
Yes.
I know you're a big influence, positive influence. So thank you.
You get a picture with you and the young ladies?
Sure.
Oh, sorry, you?
Even though you're not the primary, you can still go.
I'll be a bookend. Chanda, you gotta be in here.
Okay. We can make that happen. We can make that happen.
Haven't we all been on? To our city committee?
I was on for years. I think it's only 2 years. 2 years that I haven't been on. So this year was on this year, and I wasn't on it one other year. So
You were on it when I was.
out of the last 7 years, I've been on it 5 years. 5 out of 7.
Wow.
Well, you don't have to do it. I'll just do it.
Okay, I need approval of minutes for November 10th.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No, so be it. We have correspondence from Diane Harvey about tree maintenance and concerns. It's a resident who lives by Oakwood Park and she wants some trees cut down, but Patrick, Ralph, and Keith went over there and explained that the trees they're in good shape. And we don't take down live trees. Okay, Robert Gregory, about the cul-de-sac, that's a dead issue, so we'll leave that go.
Ask why is it a dead issue?
Because of the way the new facilities up there are gonna be, so it's not gonna work out. Okay, Union County Commissioners, notice of a meeting cancellation. Laura Savitsky, about the Superfund Act that we sending a concurrence letter for. The Providence Fire Department, the election of officers for November 13th. You guys are all welcome to go.
December 10th. December 10th.
10th.
Oh, yeah.
It was received on the 13th.
Correspondence came in on the 13th.
Oh, okay. Board of Adjustment, public hearing for 17 Homes Oval, New Jersey DOT, municipal grant letter, and we got $419,674. That's a pretty good haul.
That is a
That's
good
great.
Yeah.
It's a big road.
Big road.
PSE&G, the gas system modernization program. Gregory Kingsborough, or ordinance about no gas lead blowers. They tried that in surrounding municipalities. It never worked out. They had to rescind the ordinance, go back to the gas powered. It's all everybody. What happens is that they're always having to charge the batteries. They use them all day. The other thing is to buy all this new equipment. They pass all that charges off to the consumer. So.
Yep.
We looked at this previously a couple of years ago, and it just never made sense. New Jersey Water, a merger with Montague Companies. Any comments?
No.
Okay, let's go to council business. Kathleen, administration.
Oh, okay, sorry. So the resolution 2025-296, this is a resolution authorizing an amendment to the annual contract with GovPilot LLC for licensing software. And this is just adding the additional module to our contract to allow for the registration of e-bikes, which is in the new ordinance.
Yes, I saw that. I looked at the document actually has the whole contract and says it's adding. What was the incremental increase?
It's 3,000 for the year.
3. Perfect. Thank you.
That's an ongoing every annual cost, right?
Yeah, we pay 40,000 now, so it's
Yep, 43.
43.
Okay, advisory committee, Diane.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution 2025-297 is a resolution approving the request of the Rev 250 Committee to participate in community events during the calendar year of 2026. So we are seeking permission to basically couple different events. Our really exciting signature event will be on April 18th, which is Reverend Caldwell Day, which I can tell you ad nauseum about this event. But basically, we're creating, and we're basically hoping that this event has longevity, meaning it gets passed on and continues every year. It's basically an entire community event to give back to EMS, fire department, Lions Clubs, Eyeglasses, New Providence Library, all these different organizations, and the troops will be the center point. We're really excited about it. To walk in the Memorial Day Parade, to have an old-time baseball game in the summer, to have a presence at Pioneer Day in the fall. We're also requesting permission to use the logo that we had created, which I know we had talked about it at one point and everybody saw it. It's out there with the Historical Society, the library, also the school district, and the businesses. So basically including but not limited to those. The other things, we also have a huge lantern project that we're really excited about. I don't know if anybody's noticed on the grounds of the Saltbox Museum,
Yeah, I saw
there
that.
are
It's pretty cool.
13 lanterns. So, and that basically 13 represents the 13 original colonies. It is called the Liberty Tree. If you have ever been to Walt Disney World, I've never, well, actually I've been to Walt Disneyland, but I can't tell you verbatim if it's there. But in Walt Disney World, they have, in America, they have these 13 lanterns symbolizing the 13 original colonies. They're hanging from the tree. So we hope that it's an organic type of movement. So we're also requesting to purchase 13 lanterns for, hopefully we're going to figure out where to put it in Veterans Park. But Presbyterian Church has actually approached us to have lanterns there. So they'll purchase lanterns and put it there. So we're also hoping that residents will actually purchase lanterns and either put them in their trees or on their steps. So it's just, and actually really fun fact and exciting, other towns in the area have actually approached our historical society and talked about it too. So hopefully it's like a Union County thing. So really exciting. There's other information if you have any questions about it, but we're really excited about going forward. The commemorative mugs are also limited for sale. And there's a lot more. So we're really excited.
Can I ask a question? I'm sorry. It's about, July 4th. obviously is the big day, right?
Mhm.
Is there something special aside from our normal fireworks we have on the 3rd? Or is there one day of the year that's going to be focused on Rev 250 in particular?
So the whole concept of America 250 is that it's not just one day or one specific period. It's, well, it is a period, but it's a very long period.
Okay.
So Paul Revere's ride actually already happened in, last year. So last year was the 250th anniversary of that. So it's going forward.
Okay.
One of the things that in New Providence we've decided, or we've thrown around, is that July 4th is not going to be our centerfold, because there are so many other celebrations around the country that we don't want to have something that's minimized. And we are also trying to focus on things that are very specific to New Providence. So if we could, kind of possibly even come up with a Heritage Day to talk about our heritage, talking about diversity, talking about, 250th anniversary, but we've been around for over 300 years, right? So it's more of a New Providence centric. We're also hoping to have some social media posts about New Providence. So Reverend Caldwell, actually, if you know the borough seal, the Union County seal, which is kind of bloody, it depicts Reverend Caldwell's wife being shot by the British soldiers. Reverend Caldwell was in Union. He settled in New Providence, gathered all of his 13 children back into New Providence in Adams Shopping Center, actually. And his youngest child, there is a journal entry that we found that said something about his dad collecting contraband and then driving it over in the dark of night, or, on the weekend or whatever it was, to the General in Morristown, which would be Washington.
You are
So-
the perfect person for the Historical Society.
It's so exciting. It's like, think about it. And then actually we had a meeting last night, which was really cool. And there, Nick Schultz and, John wasn't there, John Sponauer and Maria, and they're talking about, well, I did this research and they're talking about all these different connections. So we're hopefully going to have some social media posts throughout the year about all these really cool connections to our history, because Union County is actually one of the most, there were the most skirmishes, wars, not wars, but battles in Union County, but we don't do a really good job with, just publicizing that, sharing it, talking about it. But we do. And actually the library is going to come up with a flyer, a calendar kind of thing. And Stacy's amazing. So we have all these great talks and, book clubs and different things scheduled. So a lot of exciting things.
So this resolution is approving specific events for next year. The committee's still meeting and still coming up with
Yeah.
ideas and things that may also come in next year
Yes.
that we'll also review and approve, hopefully, as well. And your enthusiasm and knowledge is really brings a smile and a warmth to me.
Yeah.
And I hope you do consider staying on that committee.
She's going to. She doesn't have a choice.
I don't know.
But going backwards 1 second, summer specific and New Providence specific, we are going to be recreating baseball games. So New Providence has a vast history of baseball. I think they were the New Providence Crescents. And they would play against Summit. They would play against other things. So we're bringing back the Boys of Summer. We're going to be we're going to get them like oldie time costumes, and we're going to be recreating that
Uniforms,
uniforms,
but not in wool.
yeah. We're going to be recreating that. So our summer is really bringing back that New Providence baseball heritage.
Start
that
warming
was
up
so
now, or what?
Yeah, just get ready, guys. So there's so much exciting stuff. And again, I agree with you. Diane brings such enthusiasm, and the whole committee to sit through their meetings. The amount of research and detail, they're exciting to listen to.
So Al, you've been here the longest. Was that the most detailed resolution ever read on council?
Yes.
Sorry.
But I think, whatever you guys need, we'll support.
It's going to be a good year.
It's a big deal.
Okay,
I remember the bicentennial, and
Yeah.
it was that extra.
Well, Maria was talking about the bicentennial last year because, all the research, and talking about getting floats. So, you know, if
For the parade.
if the Rev 250/Historical Society has a float, then maybe like fire department and the police and like have really cool elaborate floats. That
I
would be
made
fun.
one of those floats with the Cub Scouts, a Saturn V rocket.
There you go.
They broke it up into decades and things like that.
Yes,
It's pretty
yes.
cool.
It's going to be a
So-
cool parade next year.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right.
Good things coming up indeed.
Yeah. So basically just trying to make it New Providence centric too.
Love it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Affordable housing, Nadine.
Okay. Taking all of the wind out of the sails.
Wah, wah.
Womp womp. Resolution 2025-298 is a resolution opposing Senate Bill 4736, allowing religious and nonprofit organizations to convert certain non-residential property to inclusionary developments with affordable housing. So this resolution is being done in many surrounding areas. I believe it came to us from the League of Municipalities. And this bill aims to make it easier for religious organizations and tax-exempt nonprofit organizations in New Jersey to convert their non-residential properties into inclusionary housing developments, including affordable housing units. So this applies to property owned by religious or tax-exempt nonprofit organizations, including non-residential buildings. Municipal planning boards must permit full or partial conversions of these properties into inclusionary developments, which are developments that include affordable housing. These projects become permitted uses and do not require a use variance, provided they meet the bill's criteria. One of the many problems with this is that this Senate bill preempts local zoning and planning regulations, effectively overriding local ordinances in certain situations. So it really creates a problem for local municipalities. It opens up religious and tax-exempt organizations to come in and, without regard to local zoning and local regulations, to get involved in building these inclusionary items. There's a lot of problems with this, and I'm happy that we are participating in opposing this. I don't know what it's going to do, but we are making our opinions heard.
So does this
and
mean
felt.
that one of our local churches could use their parking lot basically to go ahead and build?
Yeah.
You know,
Or they
They
can
would have to probably do the whole lot.
Or the whole
Yeah.
property.
the whole property.
they would have to do the whole property.
Mhm.
The problem is they're whittling away from home rule.
Yep.
There is no, in the state of New Jersey, home rule is out the window. And they put so many regulations in that, and then you don't have any control over anything.
Yep.
And you try and get things done and you can't get them done. This is a nightmare.
Well, so for example, like if a 501c3, which is a not-for-profit, like in our house, for example, had an acre of property in a neighborhood, they could just take
Yes.
that housing off and put in 7 units
Whatever
or something
they,
there.
whatever
So
they
on a
want.
residential street, anything can be put in. And we've worked so hard to create
to have good zoning and good ordinances. And what's scary now is, at least in our diocese, they are evaluating all the churches. So I know locally, they're looking at all of the churches in the towns and they're talking about consolidation. They're talking about all different things. So there can be a lot of problems from this. So we have to keep our eyes open.
Do we know, like, how did this come up? I mean, is there some lawsuit happening somewhere where somebody wants to do it and they don't want to
Well,
go through
Fair
the?
Trenton, right?
Fair Share Housing got to somebody to propose it, and it had to go before committee. So it's a nightmare.
It's in Democrats in Trenton, right?
What's that?
It's in Trenton.
It's in
Yeah,
Trenton.
oh, it's
Democrats in
definitely
Trenton because
Trenton.
that's where it comes from.
So,
Yeah, it's being, the sponsorship is definitely not in our area. And I think they're trying to push it through.
yeah. Okay. That's, where are we? Committee activities?
Back to something good.
Yeah. Diane?
It's nice to sandwich your bad
you
with
go.
our
Thank
good. Thank you, Mayor. Resolution 2025-299 is a resolution accepting the proposal of Hire Gruel and Associates to develop a community energy plan for the Borough of New Providence. This is approving the proposal for the development of the community energy plan. If you remember, we approved and received a $10,000 grant for this purpose. The first step that which we've already done was getting feedback from the public employees of the borough, mayor and council, and business owners, anybody who completed the survey. And now the survey results will provide Hire Gruel and Associates with information that they need to create a plan for the borough and open the opportunity for us to apply for much larger grants that can be used to implement some of the things in our community environmental plan. For example, purchase low energy heating and cooling, EV charging stations, solar, et cetera, et cetera. So like it's already in motion. We're really excited about that. And if memory serves me right, this is a non-matching grant that we received, and we're looking for additional non-matching grants, which is more beneficial to the town. Any question? Resolution 2025-300 is a resolution approving requisition R2502351 for Cindy Fowlis Designs LLC in an amount not to exceed $9,551.76 for lobby furniture in the Community Activities Department. Basically, we're approving furniture, et cetera, and I believe paint and designs for the lobby area in the front entrance of the rec. So that's been in the works and a thought for a very long time. When I was teaching at the rec, people sitting there and hanging out, and like kids waiting for classes or parents waiting for their kids. So this is a very exciting upgrade to that area.
Okay. Let's go to engineering, Alex.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution 301, resolution authorizing return of escrow and a performance guarantee to South Street Commons. So this is returning some money in escrow for the development of South Street Commons. Resolution 302, resolution accepting the proposal of Collier's Engineering Design, Inc. for the environmental engineering services related to Oakwood Park playground improvements as required by the NJDEP Green Acres program. So this allows Colliers to oversee some soil samples that have to be taken out. NJDEP found, they believe there's something called historic fill in that area. So this is like one of the boxes we have to check to prove that the soil is clean in order to proceed with the improvements at Oakwood Park Playground. Resolution 303, resolution accepting a grant from Hazardous Discharge Site Remediation Fund public entity program through the New Jersey Economic Development Authority and NJDEP. So we've been awarded a grant of up to $40,000, $40,703 from the Discharge Site Remediation Fund, Municipal Grant Fund. That's what I just read. The grant is applied through the NJDEP as part of the site cleanup at the Ping Wang property that we've talked about for several years. Resolution 304, resolution approving requisition R2502339 for the Foggia Trinity Electric LLC in the amount not to exceed $15,950 for emergency repair of heaters in the gym and recreation area. As some of you know, the boiler in this area, in the rec area, went down. So this approves temporary heaters in various locations. And I think the borough engineer will then decide how to proceed, whether we need a new boiler, central boiler, or just do these little heaters throughout the property.
Okay, finance, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution 2025-305 is the resolution authorizing the payment of the attached bills payable list. The amount is $3,748,073.85. Some of the more significant items were our fourth quarter county tax to the County of Union for $3,156,657. Fourth quarter open space to the County of Union for $150,657. Our October solid waste fee for suburban disposal, $49,083. Design and development of the police department to the Musel group. Yeah, that's it.
Usual.
39,800. We have our October waste disposal to the Union County Utilities for 20,916. We have a supplemental assessment to 20 to the Garden State Municipal Insurance, 15,960. And interest on our GO bonds, general obligation bonds, for May 5th, 2012. That was for that bond. And that's payable to the depository trust for $13,407. Resolution 2025-306 is a resolution authorizing the second amendment to the contract with professional property appraisers for the municipal-wide reval of all real property. This is just amending the original contract to change the effective date of the new assessments from the 2026 tax year to the 2027 tax year. This was just a result of the project being started a little bit later than had been anticipated, so it's getting pushed over into 2027. Resolution 2025-307 is a resolution refunding or applying overpayment of taxes to different property owners. So this was just a refund of duplicate tax payments. 2025-308 is a resolution providing for the insertion of any special items of revenue in the 2025 budget pursuant of NJSA 40A4-87, Chapter 159, PL 1948, National Opioid Settlement 2025. We're still getting a little bit of money from that opioid remediation. That was $71.60.
Stamps, huh?
I know. Resolution 2025-309 is the resolution providing for the insertion of any special item of revenue in the 2025 budget pursuant of NJSA 40A4-87, Chapter 159, PL 1948, New Jersey Department of Transportation Municipal Aid Program. This refers back to the correspondence that Al was talking about before, inserting $419,674 into the budget to be used for Union Avenue improvements. So people will be happy with that. I know they've been asking about Union Avenue, so here we go. Resolution 2025-310 is a transfer resolution. This is approving the transfer of funds within the budget accounts, which is very common at this time of year. The New Jersey local budget law only allows these transfers in November and December. Resolution 2025-311 is resolution requesting permission to authorize the establishment of a declaration by rider for donations, acceptance of bequests and gifts pursuant to NJSA 40A4-39 and required by NJSA 40A5-29. A dedication by rider is a legal process that allows a local government to create a special trust fund for revenue that cannot be accurately estimated in advance, such as donations. This will enable the borough to accept donations for specific purposes. And really the reason for this resolution is just to help clean up with some of the accounting and to be able to create a clean audit for those dollars that may come in for as donations.
For example, if somebody wanted to donate to the America 250 Fund for special flowers or something, or
Or
to purchase
lanterns.
lanterns,
There you go. Now we have a resolution for that. So we can track those dollars.
There you go.
And do it the right way. Resolution 2025-17 is a bond ordinance appropriating $200,000 obligations for not needed for the original purposes in order to provide for the renovation of borough-owned grass fields in and by the Borough of New Providence in the County of Union. So this is reappropriating money from bond ordinance 2017-06 that's no longer necessary for Grove Terrace Field renovations and the Ping Wang remediations for recreational purposes to allow for the remediation of grass fields in the borough. It's just basically taking funds that are no longer needed, in column A, moving them over to column B, and replenishing our grass fields in town.
Okay, legal, Nadine.
Thank you, Mayor. There's an introduction of ordinance 2025-18, which is an ordinance of the Borough of New Providence authorizing the sale of property known as Block 185, Lot 23.01, no longer needed for public use. So this ordinance is approving the sale of 705 Central Avenue to the Summit Speech School for the nominal price of $1. Because the sale is for nominal consideration under NJSA 40A 12-21, the deed must include a reversionary clause. So if the Summit Speech School, which is a nonprofit for education or treatment of persons with developmental disabilities, stops using that property for the required purpose, the ownership reverts back to the borough. So if we sell it to them and then they don't use it anymore, it reverts back to the borough. So that's just the introduction of that ordinance.
So that's just a quick question. Now I get it, this is a 50-year lease, or what was it?
50 years.
50-year lease. We got about 18 years left on it. Really makes sense from a financial perspective, right, for the borough. My concern is just the reversionary clause. So this is the introduction, right? So we're going to see the actual contract, right? We'll have some input on that before we finalize that, right? So we'll have to introduce that as an ordinance as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure. Again, to me, like the revolution, the reversionary clause. We really want to make sure that we look at that, right? And that's as tight as we can get.
Yeah, that happens all the time. So.
Yeah, I get it. I just reading the document and whatnot. I was just, to me, it's a little vague, and I know it's not the contract, right? So I just want to make sure that we button that down, right? And there could be a lot of reasons for not using the property, but there's verbiage in there in terms of using it for its required purpose, right? That I kind of want to make sure we tighten that up. And
You mean the Summit Speech School using it for its required purpose?
Yeah.
Does that resolution we talked about earlier with the nonprofits and religious organizations, can Summit Speech School go out?
They are a nonprofit.
Paul, can they make a deal with a developer and say,
I don't think.
Well,
It's only part of that building, though.
That litigation passes, but there's certain conditions that they have to meet, and I'd have to go back over those conditions. But if the bill passed and they met the conditions, but I think that'd be a problem with the diversionary clause.
Yeah.
So I don't see how that would.
Unless they say that they're still using it for their intended purposes, but they're just going to be one of the many units.
You can't sell it to them. It
No.
can't be one of many. It has to be that purpose. So
Okay.
you can't sell it to a developer and say we're still using it for
A school.
therapy?
School going for
Yeah.
disabilities.
Okay.
Just a thought.
No, it's a good one.
Good question.
Very good questions.
Okay. Where are we? Personnel?
Personnel. Oh,
Legal and regulatory.
Personnel, yeah.
no, we
Yeah,
finished.
we did that.
That was my
Personnel.
Oh, you just did it.
You're right.
Thanks. Resolution 2025-312, resolution appointing Timothy O'Connor. I have to stop. My boss's name is Timothy O'Connor. So I'm appointing him. Resolution appointing Timothy O'Connor as part-time deputy tax assessor for the Borough of New Providence. So this approves hiring Tim O'Connor as a deputy tax collector through June 30th, 2026, while Brian is on medical leave. Tim is currently the assessor in Summit and will work several hours a week in the office after 5 p.m. and remotely as needed. So this is a real good find we're lucky by Bernadette was able to find Tim, and definitely while there's a void there now and we need to fill it. So thank you for that.
Okay, we have limousine application from Summit Taxi. It was properly prepared and reviewed. The next resolutions are all steps for the police department. 313 is Lindsay Knopf, and she is being appointed as a permanent employee. Patrols officer, step 9. And I can't believe it's been a year already. Okay, 314 is Christian Seeley Gomez to step 1. 315 is Andrew Lynch to step 1. 316 is Jeff Bruder to step 2. 317 is Carmine Basileri to step 3. 318 is Greg Miller to step 4. And 319 is Mike Gelomini to step 8. And all these are in compliance with the labor agreement. Okay, Public Works, Matt.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. Just go through all the list of all those, police officers, and it's just like, what a great group of police officers we have, and, get to know them. Luckily, being on council, and they're all just great people. We're lucky to have those guys and gals. Public Works, Resolution 320 is a resolution. So these are all steps in our Public Works as well. 320, 321, 322, 323, 324, and 325. So 321, froze up on me there. 320 is advancing Christopher Nemeth to step D in Public Works. 321 is Jose Hernandez Saravia to step D. 322 is Michael Keenan to max step. 323 is Douglas Wiley to step C. 324 is advancing Joseph Pasquale to assistant plant operator step G. So just mentioned for Joe, he's completed the 45-hour advanced collection system course, which is important. This allows him to take the C2 licensing exam, and he passed. So thank you and congratulations to him. He is acquiring C2 and S1 licenses, which meets the criteria to specified in his union contract to fill this assistant plant operator position. So this is an important role in our town. As you know, we have a great group over there. 325 is Noel Santiago, second plant operator in our Public Works. He's got now going to attend the 180-hour course, Introduction to Wastewater Operations, which will make him eligible to test his S1 and C1 licenses. So these guys are putting in the hours on top of their hours, right, to get their specific licenses. So thank you to these guys for that. And 326 is a resolution approving a requisition R25-02376 for Cefelli and Son General Contracting, Inc., an amount not to exceed $40,000 for some sidewalk maintenance. This is sidewalk maintenance that's going to be done on Chandlin and Gales Drive.
Okay. Let's go to committee reports. Before I start, and I wasn't here at one meeting, but we had a resident, longtime resident here, Nat Conti, and he passed away. And I wanted to bring him up because he was always there for this town when it was in need. I remember in 1996 that we had that 3-foot snowstorm. Mm-hmm. He had the contract to snowplow the Meadowlands. Well, after he got done with the Meadowlands, he came to New Providence and cleaned out the whole center of town. Never charged us. He was just that type of guy. He was actually very instrumental in creating Centennial Park. He actually started it with making the rock wall with the sign on it, and he donated all the material for the pergola there. And just a great guy, always willing to help. And he will be missed. I haven't seen him in a
Did this
long time.
company also do the turf field at the high school?
Yeah.
They excavated.
Excavated,
Yeah,
And
this company, actually, all the concrete waterways, the aprons?
Yeah.
He did that, I think, in 1972. You can't find a crack in those things. And Jimmy Cuco told me years ago that the biggest mistake he and the council made was not spending $1 million more and completing that whole project throughout the borough. So
because now we
That was in the
can't.
70s.
now we can't.
Now we can't.
Yeah, you can't do it. So.
Could do a lot more back then.
Yeah, so, can we just stand and have a moment of
That's a
silence?
great idea.
Thank you. Besides that, I just want everybody to be aware that they're finishing up the leaves but there's still a lot of leaves out there. It's wet, it's slippery. Just be careful out there on the roads. Starting to ice up a little. So just want everybody to be careful and be safe out there. Besides that, operations normal. Okay, Diane.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor. So communications, of course, I'm going to tell you, go to notify me. I actually had deleted some messages from my home phone because I never listen to my home phone, but yeah, they're great messages. Thank you for always looking at that, and the borough constantly reviews it and constantly updates what we're going to send out there. So thank you. Our council advice, like Rev 250, because I'm on that bandwagon right now. So our council advisory committees and other pages, thank you to our PIO for the attention, making the website better all the time. Our Rev 250 page, we're adding a couple little things, and that will be a landing page for events going forward. So thank you, and we're excited to work with that. Community activities. This Friday, December 5th, is our annual Night of 1,000 Star community tree lighting. And again, this is another event that was started with the Council Advisory Committee and has been moved basically to the borough, who constantly, our community activities, constantly adds changes, makes it better, more inclusive, just bigger. There are a few, it's same great event. However, a couple new additions. Families can pick up ornaments at 5 local businesses: NP Fuel, Elefante, Braunschweiger Jewelers, Prestige Diner, and Tirana Orthodontics. You have a couple more days, take them home, decorate them, then bring them back to the event to hang on the tree, or drop it off at one of those 5 businesses and they'll bring it to the event. The second edition, as there will be a free family or group photo event. So attendees can receive an immediate digital copy that can be used to make holiday cards, post on social media, or just, hang on your refrigerator if you still have that kind of refrigerator, or just enjoy. And as always, there will be free hot cocoa, popcorn, and our amazing entertainment. Photos begin at 6:30, and the event begins at 7. So always a great event. And I believe our high school also sends some performers to perform. So near and dear to my heart. Registration for winter youth and adult classes is now open. Classes begin in January. There are many tried and true favorites, but there are 2 new things this season. A free open gym on Tuesdays for kids grades 5 to 8. And speed and agility in indoor speed and agility class. And adult offerings still include pickleball, yoga, and men's pickup basketball. I talked about the energy plan grant. We had a great, I don't think we were here since then. We had a great Veterans Day celebration. We had an amazing women's self-defense class from the PBA and the Recreation Department. If you see it going forward, definitely go to it. Fantastic. And they have taken notes and have a couple little tweaks for the next one. The holiday walk was on the 28th. Again, thank you to our volunteers, our volunteer fire department, our volunteer EMS, our police, our DPW. Great event. fun time was had by all. Everybody was safe. Matt and I always talk about that. Small Business Saturday was on November 29th, but please, I know I always say this, but please support our local businesses. We have so many great businesses that, holiday shopping is now. So please support them. I talked about our Rev 250. I talked about, we talked about the mug sale and other events for the Historical Society. I don't think there's anything else for Historical Society. If I forget something, let me know. Our businesses are actually having a new holiday storefront contest. So the businesses are decorating their storefronts, and visitors can vote for the store that they feel is best dressed. Voting now through December 14th. Obviously, this is a new help shine a light on our local businesses this holiday season. See how I said that in? So they're basically doing that. You can vote as often as you like. So, buy often, vote often. And it's open to anybody, customers, residents, visitors. It's just a really fun thing. Like the business community, the DID, the BPA, they're always trying to create, and we talked about this over the past year, not revitalizing, because it's just reinventing and bringing back our hometown feel to a different level, to a better level, or an expanded level. So that's continuing to happen. They've done a really great job. More things coming.
Diane, going back 2 seconds to Friday, there's 2 other organizations that are going to be there Friday that we want to get out there. Link will be there. So Leading Initiative and Neighborhood Change, which is our resource pantry, which is based out of the Methodist Church. They will be there collecting non-perishable items. And the CSA, Community Service Association, will also be there as well, collecting donations. So before you come, dig deep, bring some donations for our local resource pantry and the CSA, both organizations who help more and more people, big groups of people, and getting more so.
And I think Elefante Music's going to be playing too, which is always a big hit.
Yes, it is.
Can't go wrong.
2 more things. The American Legion Cookie Walk is on, the
right.
drop-off is 12:12. They always need cookies, and I believe the walk is 12:13. I don't have all the details, but it's there.
I got there early.
And then very early. And
Before
then,
the door opens.
just one final little plug for our council advisory committees. So back in 2023, we created our Comcast franchise renewal, and we had we did our work. It was like April 23. We asked for people to work on the committee. We had a small committee, which involved everybody: the library, the school district, the borough, and people from our town. We created an ordinance. It was introduced in February 27. We had a public hearing and passed and adopted the ordinance on March 12th. And true to governmental form, it's finally been approved by the government. The franchise agreement was adopted, or was approved. And so now all of those pieces that were in the ordinance will finally get done. We're getting some money. We can work on TV 35, et cetera, et cetera. So exciting news. I know there were a couple little hiccups not with the borough and not with our committee, but that's just another example of a council advisory committee that was formed, did its work, and now it's disbanded. Because and again, I know I keep saying thank you to those people, but thank you to that committee. That was a great committee to work on.
Okay, Matt.
Thank you. So the Christmas walk, was fun. I really, really thoroughly enjoyed that. I do want to thank, the MP business community, Don, our marching band, who I can listen to those guys play any night of the week. They're awesome. I kind of felt weird. I don't, my kids don't go anymore, but I brought my 5-year-old dog, and she enjoyed it just as much.
And had a nice little jacket on.
It's a fun event. Planning board meetings next week. We have a special meeting on Monday, 64 South Street, which is the South Street Market.
Yep.
Interesting.
So they're looking to clean up the front. They're going to separate into 2 businesses. right? The
Yeah.
South Street Market in one business, and then I'm not sure is it like a
It's like
coffee
a
shop
health
or
food
a health food
thing.
place or something. Okay.
Did they sell?
No,
So-
the South Street
Yes.
Market's staying. No.
Yeah, but there's new owners.
Oh, okay, new owners. So
They're still gonna be there, but there's.
Yeah.
Well, they.
the planning board has to approve the use, right? So now having two uses at one property. So that'll be on Monday.
Make sure they straighten the sign.
The actually sign will be going away. They'll be putting in there's a new sign going in, monumental
And
sign.
they keep the
new,
wings.
New
Keep the
front,
wings.
whole new front of the store. So Tuesday's regular planning board meeting, Toll Brothers is back on the agenda. They do have some changes. I just got them today. I haven't looked at them to their plans. So if you're still interested in what's going on at Toll Brothers, please show up for Tuesday's meeting as well. That's all I had.
Okay, Kathleen.
Operations normal, Mayor?
Okay. Nadine.
Thank you, Mayor. I really just have one thing. So over the last couple of meetings, I've been talking about the Mindful Generation presentation that's being run in part by Debbie Merrick and a new organization and the high school. So tomorrow is the last of that series. It's kind of like, okay, now that we've learned all this, what do we do with it? How do we use it? How do we implement it? And this is for all grades K through 12 parents. How do we help our kids in this digital age? It starts at 7:00. It's at the media center at the library, at the high school. So I highly recommend it. I've been to 2 of them so far, and I'll definitely be there tomorrow night as well. It starts a little bit earlier for younger kids. They're going to be giving some smart device alternatives, which we definitely need in my house. So I hope they have some good ideas. Other than that, operations normal.
Okay. Alex.
All good. Operations normal.
Lisa.
Thank you, Mayor. Beautification Committee, I just wanted to thank them for lighting up the park. It looks great. And they got it done in time for the holiday walk and the tree lighting this Friday. It's this Friday. So yeah, they do a lot of work trying and getting businesses. So the park was lit up with generous sponsorships and donations from our local businesses. So there is a sign there of some of our larger donors. So as Diane said, please utilize our local businesses. They do a lot for us. Things that we might not even know about, like lighting up the park and things like that. So shop local and use your local businesses for your services for sure. I missed the library board meeting. So next week I will report on the next one.
Normal.
Oh, no, there's the fire department, Santa.
When's that? That's a good question. Take photos with Santa?
No,
No.
actually,
Drive
the
around.
fire department has
Alex
a,
would know.
the fire department has a mailbox for letters for Santa, which is awesome. And when is the Santa delivers?
13th.
The
That's what
13th.
I
I believe
thought.
there are still some slots available. Just go onto their website and sign up if you, I know, because people always ask me about that.
Thank you. I learned so much at these meetings. I write my to-do list of all things I have to do.
Because I don't show up.
I
You
appreciate
don't
it.
see my calendar. Okay.
That's it.
Before I say anything else, I see Kate's here.
Bernadette.
Bernadette. Yeah, I will.
Sorry,
Can't forget Bernadette. Alex and I are gonna meet with you and who else? There was somebody else?
I think Rich, right?
Rich, okay? We're just trying to find time. It's a tough time of year. But we got a couple things working, so we'll get in touch with you. Okay, Bernadette, I didn't forget.
Thank you, Mayor. I just have a few things. First, I just want to send a special thank you to the County of Union for keeping the Passaic Bridge project on time and actually finishing up 2 months ahead of schedule. So thank you. That bridge is really instrumental to our downtown businesses and keeping the traffic flowing. So really important. The Pool Bridge replacement project is complete and open for foot traffic. There are barriers there to keep any cars or trucks off of the bridge until as long as possible, just so the cement can continue to cure and not crack. And as Matt had said before, the sidewalk replacement project is well underway. Somehow we got to the end of the contractors list this year. I don't know. We're usually so good at being at the beginning. So they're going to be finishing up certain sections this week, weather permitting. And then we hope to be on the beginning of their list for the spring for some sections that need to be replaced in front of Borough Hall. That's all I have.
Okay. I'll tell you, with all the complaints you would get about the bridge, I mean, 2 months ahead of time, I mean, they did do a good job. And I know it was it was a hardship on a lot of people.
Yeah,
But-
I would just say that one thing they didn't do a good job is publicizing
Yeah, well-
that they were on time and ahead of
Yeah.
schedule. You know, it's tough when originally they said they'd be done by January, right?
Yeah.
But you know, as people see the project progress, it's like, when is it done? When is it done? But
Can I ask something about the intersection of River Road and Central? They had that temporary.
It's gone.
Oh, I understand it's gone, but is there any
It's
thought
It's
about
It's Morris County.
potentially?
Morris County.
In fact, it's not, the River Road isn't even a county road, so it's the
It's the borough.
Chatham Township that it's gonna have to pay for it. And I know when we put the one in at Maple and Central, back then, and how long ago was that? 5, 6 years ago? That cost us $250,000. So I gotta figure it's $300,000 to put a light in.
they literally, the day they removed it, they had a
Yeah,
There was an
bad
accident
right?
there, so,
Yeah.
I mean, no like rumors from Morris County or Chatham that they're gonna consider doing that?
No,
No? Okay.
I know the residents are asking for it, but, you know, that's a tough intersection. It
It is.
really is.
It
That
really does
one-
need a light.
If you're coming from that Berkeley Heights side,
Yeah.
coming down, you
blind.
can't see anything.
No.
So,
It's easier at night because you see the lights.
yeah,
During the day.
Headlights, yeah.
you better be better off with a 4-way stop there, really. Okay,
That would be easier. Just put a four-way stop.
I know they did put a flashing stop sign there,
Yeah, they
solar
do.
one, but, you know, it needs more than that, so,
Okay, look, flag.
okay. That's it for that, right?
Yep.
Okay, we're moving right along. Okay, at this time, we have public comments. Anybody wishing to address council, raise your hand, give your name and address. Yeah, Alex.
Evening, Mayor, Council. Alexander Pereira, 92 Pine Way, New Providence. Just wanted to make a couple quick remarks. As we've all seen, everything nationally and locally has become more and more partisan the last couple years as things have gone by, and at risking sounding like a line from my Big Fat Greek Wedding, the word politics itself comes from politika, a Greek word, which means the affairs of the city. And it's a national phenomenon. It's by no means unique to New Providence, but we've strayed very far from that meeting across the board nationally. In the last 5 or so years of elections, in our local politica, we've moved from the issues that most impact our town and who's most equipped to handle those issues to partisan appeals to more flashy things that really don't have much bearing on the day-to-day of what happens to our residents, our local businesses, and our borough. Our amazing little town, dare I say the greatest in our entire state, was first settled over 300 years ago. And while not quite as old as it says right behind the mayor, we were first incorporated in 1899 as our own borough, 126 years ago. At that point in 1899 was the last time there was any fundamental reevaluation of our borough's form of government. To put that in perspective, when New Providence's form of government was established, there were no zippers, it was 1913, sliced bread, 28, FM radios, 33, shopping carts, 36, or even microwaves, 1945. And we're not the same town we were in 1899. As Mayor Al wisely said earlier when we're talking about the Unity Day Diversity Committee presentation at the beginning of tonight's meeting, there's been a tremendous amount of change, incredible positive change in our town, even in the last 82 years since the Packet Club was founded. Now, in the towns that surround us, nearly all of them have taken the opportunity in that time provided to municipalities by the Faulkner Act to empower voters and residents to take a deep dive into the form of government and see if there's more appropriate or apt options, changes, or forms available. Summit operates under a special charter from 1987. Berkeley Heights did a charter study commission in 2005 and then had a new form in 2007. Westfield has a charter from 67, Plainfield 68, a new one in 2013, another one in 2018. I could go on at length. Clark, Hillside, Livingston, Morristown, Mountainside, Springfield, Milburn all have had different changes. Every town actually in Union County, other than Fanwood, Roselle, and Union Township, have newer forms than we do. And I mean these comments with absolutely no disrespect to New Providence, indeed quite the opposite. We've always been proudly on the cutting edge of progressive governance for the 24 years I've been here. And from my love of history, I know for a far longer time than that. The League of Municipalities calls us, as you guys all well know, the poster child for shared services. The special master for the third round of affordable housing said that our borough's plan was one of the best they'd ever seen. We have absolutely amazing borough employees. Shout out to the, I think, nearly $500,000 worth of grants that were mentioned tonight. So given all this, I'm asking the council to consider and look a little more into an ordinance that would, under the authority of the Faulkner Act, put a question on the ballot next year in 2026 to create a charter study commission. Milburn just did it this year. Red Bank did it recently. Like I said, Springfield did it in 2012, Plainfield in 2013. It's a relatively common thing that's gone on. And in order to study the charter of the borough, look at the options that are available. This would not be any kind of quick fix, quote unquote, to anything, and nor should it be. Like I said, if it would put on the ballot, it's an opportunity for residents to get more involved, more engaged with the issues that affect our town, how our government works, and what options there are to organize the town around what that does. For example, there's 88 municipalities in the state that currently hold nonpartisan elections. That's just one of many options a charter study commission could consider and then put before the residents. To reiterate, after an ordinance, if considered by the council, everything's in the hand of the voters. Any discussion, research, proposals, they're grassroots, they're led by the community through the meetings the Charter Study Commission holds. As we enter into our nation's 250th anniversary, an endeavor of this kind really, I think, exemplifies the kind of informed representative republic that our founders and 2.5 centuries worth of our countrymen and women have fought for. Be happy to speak to any of you guys either now, later on any more of this. As I think pretty much all of you guys know, I'm a little bit of a history nerd. I'm a little bit of a local government nerd. So I've been seeing this
far from the tree, huh?
But as always, thank you all for everything you guys all do, both the borough employees and the council and mayor, for the tremendous work. I consider myself one of the luckiest people alive for getting to have grown up in this amazing town. But just again, it's my love of history, love of government. I figured that was something to throw at you guys. See if there are any thoughts. So thank you all, and happy late Thanksgiving.
Thanks, Al.
Thank you,
Al.
Al.
That's pretty cool.
Anyone else? Yeah, Kate. Hi, Anne-Marie.
Hello, Anne Marie Zofali, 191 Ryder Way. I just had a question about the cul-de-sac on Southgate. I had attended the October planning board meeting, and it sounded like the developer, when they were talking about it, just talked about it as if it was part of their plan. And I'm just wondering what happened between that meeting and the last council meeting and tonight, where it's basically been, deemed dead, and who made that decision?
The traffic flow. All your neighbors up brought up the point that they would just go up and come all the way around again. And it's just going to be another quagmire.
I just want to clear up for legal purposes, right? I guess, it's not dead, right? I know, Al made the comment, like it's dead. It's dead in terms of the fact that moving forward right now with plans hasn't happened, right? And I think to Al's point, there's been a lot of discussion about traffic, and there's more activity now in terms of that, what we know now of the planning that's happening up there, not only at the Southgate property, but
With Nokia.
Nokia coming in, and also, the expansion of Lantern Hill, right? So a little bit more stuff going on in that area. So I think we're at the stage right now where the next step is to go out to bid, right? And get some plans and go out to bid. And we'd have to approve that. And we haven't done that part of it yet. So it's not dead in terms of we haven't killed it, if you will. From a legal perspective, it's what we've approved right now to this point, correct me if I'm wrong, is that our engineer has been approved to design and consult to get prepared for the bid. Is that correct?
Well, the one thing, the county is going to reconfigure all of Mountain Avenue. So we're not sure where they're going to put the traffic lights.
Right.
So I can't put a cul-de-sac in if they're going to change the traffic flow and all the traffic lights. So
I think it's fair to say
Yeah.
I know Collier's designed the cul-de-sac. I think you've seen it, Emery. But I think it's too much unknown from Nokia's side. So we kind of have to wait to see what they do before we make
I mean, I was all for it. And then
Yeah.
when they're going to reconfigure everything, it would be, it
We
wouldn't
can't
be
do it right now.
responsible
Yeah.
for me to go do it, and then we'd have to rip it out. It makes no sense. So that's where we're at.
I think we have to see what happens with Nokia before we could actually.
Okay, because in years past, when we've had discussions, Mr. Mayor, you had always said, keep the traffic on the main roads. Okay, don't put them on the side roads through the neighborhoods. And by not having a cul-de-sac there, you are putting the traffic on Southgate
I understand
all
that,
the way.
but they're going to be going out Ryder and coming down by your house anyway. And if you put the cul-de-sac there, all the people are going to go up, make a right on the mountain, and make another right onto Ryder, and then come down that way. So,
I kind of disagree with that. I mean, I think if you're going to go out, you're just going to go on Mountain. Why would you come down Ryder to Southgate?
Because you can get to the shopping center down there, right down Southgate. People do it now. People in those residents all down there, when they see our board and all that, they used to go down Southgate.
Mm-hmm.
So right now,
I understand what you're saying. I was all for it. To be responsible, I can't do it now because there's too many unknowns up there.
Okay, it just seemed like there's just I don't know, probably maybe 8 or 10 homes on Ryder Way that would be affected by this, as opposed to all the people, all the residents living on Southgate and in Murray Hill area that would benefit from having a cul-de-sac.
You saw the plans, right?
No.
Come to the planning board meeting.
Oh,
that whole section.
Yeah.
There's 2 driveways going up to Ryder.
So
they would go out to Ryder and just go down Southgate.
It's a very de minimis impact right now to the property that we have plans for, that we know of right from that we saw at the planning board.
Mm-hmm.
And just like Al said, the Nokia property and then, the expansion of Lantern Hill, I think those are the unknowns right now that I think it's probably a better idea to just wait and see instead of putting something in because of the minimal impact that one property is going to have, to see what the plans look like for the rest of the properties before we go move forward with any additional bids for that project.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thanks. Yes, Kate.
Thank you, Mayor, for proactively letting me know about the Connect. I'll look forward to getting that scheduled.
Yeah, it's just us trying to get our schedules together.
No problem.
So-
I'll be ready when you are.
Okay.
And we'll follow up if I don't hear from you. I'm here to ask specifically with the budget that was approved for the work on 4th Street and work having kicked off on November 17th and then stopping within a couple of days. I requested an update from the team, Bernadette, Carmen, and Keith, I believe, is on the email that kind of runs the project regarding what was observed, what was worked on, and what comes next, but I haven't received a reply. So I'm here on behalf of the residents in that area to find out what's going on.
An answer?
You want to?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we talked to Montana and they ran into a snag, but
So the original plan was to line the pipe that ran through your yard, through the easement, so that we didn't have to take down the trees